Hey everyone, Simon here from Top Tennis Training, and in this video I want to help you to deal with kick serves in tennis. Now there are four main methods that you can use to neutralize play or even attack that kick serve. The kick serve is most likely going to be the one that comes on the second serve, and the kick is going to be bouncing and kicking away from you, hence the name. Now when we're returning a slice serve and the ball is being hit to our backhand side, it's going to be bouncing and coming into us. So it's going to be coming into our body's line. So we want to create space away from the ball. Now when we're returning a flat serve, the ball's going to be bouncing and moving in the same direction. So it's not going to be moving to the right or left. So it's very easy to anticipate the ball and know where to go. But with the kick serve, it all depends on how much kick the opponent hits on that serve. A well executed kick serve might bounce halfway in the box, but then kick off into the tram lines. Now the reason the kick serve is harder to deal with, and the reason that most players will use it on their second serve, is because it's bouncing high. So most players are going to make contact shoulder level or even head level, but it's also moving away from you. So it's always moving to your left if you're playing a right-hander. So the ball's moving away, and most players will do two things. They'll close themselves off using a neutral stance. They'll try to take that ball on, and they'll end up in this position. And from here, because the ball's spinning away from me, most of the time you're always going to be reaching for that ball. So you set up too early, and then you're reaching out for this kick serve. The other thing that players will do is they'll step across their body, and from here they might make the return, but recovering from this position is extremely hard. Either way, I'm off balance and I'm costing myself time. So the opponent down there will be able to hit that 1-2 strike. So the first method in dealing with this kick serve, which is the easiest method, but it's also the most defensive, is to move back. Move back, allow that ball to kick up, and then the ball will start dipping, and then you can execute the shot at a more comfortable height, your ideal hitting zone. So instead of taking the ball on when it's up here, we're moving back and we're creating time for ourselves. We're buying ourselves time by moving back. Now by doing this, we're also giving a lot of space away to the opponent. So it's important that we execute a very good return, otherwise we'll be on the back foot from that first strike. So in general, with this type of shot, what you want to be doing is going back cross court with a high ball. So you're neutralizing play by moving back, you're giving yourself time, you're hitting the ball at a more ideal contact point, and then you're brushing the ball and hitting aggressive topspin into the opponent's backhand. So you're neutralizing play by stepping back, giving yourself time, and then hitting a high aggressive topspin shot into the player's backhand corner. This will force them back hopefully and allow you to get into a good position, giving yourself time. The further back you move, the higher you want to hit that ball, because the higher you hit it, of course, then the more time you have to recover into a good position. If I hit a flat and low ball, I'm going to be stuck 6 or 8 feet behind the baseline, even more, and all this court here is open to the opponent. So by giving yourself that height, you're giving yourself the time. So with that deep one, we're moving back. Our goal is to get behind the ball and really load up on this outside leg. It doesn't matter if you're a one-hander or a two-hander, we want to load on this left leg if you're a right-handed player. By using the open stance, it allows me to then hit that shot, recover quickly, but it also allows me to really push upwards into the ball. From here, I can really go upwards and attack that ball with aggressive spin. So I might start around here when I'm returning that kick serve. As the opponent tosses the ball, I then start my move back. So it will look like so. I'm ready, split step, I move back into that left leg, into that open stance, and from here, I drive it back cross court with aggressive spin, and from that position I can now really recover into a good position. Option number 2 now is for me to move forward and take the kick serve on the rise, so not allowing it to hit that high spot. So I'm taking it as it's rising off the bounce. Now this is a more aggressive option, and this is a harder to execute option, but if you can master this and work on this, you'll get better and better at doing so, and you'll become a very aggressive returner on that second serve. So the main things to focus on when you are taking the ball on the rise, you want to get inside the baseline. So as the player's tossing the ball, you're stepping forward into the baseline. You're creating that forward momentum by split stepping into the court. When we're moving back, we're split stepping almost on the back foot. We're going backwards as we split step because our intention is to go back. But when we're taking the ball on the rise, we want to move forward. So I'm split stepping forward, and then I can step in. But by stepping forward, I'm creating that forward momentum, and this will help me to transfer my body weight through that shot. Once again, I'm looking to load up on the outside leg. So I'm looking to load up on the left leg here if I'm a right-hander. It doesn't matter if I'm a one-hander or a two-hander. I'm going from here, left leg, and as I'm making contact, I can then transfer my weight onto the right leg. So it will look like so. Here, left, right. It's like a hop. I'm jumping from left to right. And with the one-hander, it's going to look like so. Left, right. Now if I can master that weight transfer from left to right leg during the contact zone, the support of the racket will be very high because everything is being supported by my body. If I'm just going with the racket, it's my arm that's supporting the weight of the shot. But if I'm going forward with left to right, now I have my body weight supporting me through the contact point. And that's exactly what you want to feel. So I'm creating momentum by stepping forward into the split step, and then I'm stepping out with this left leg, and I'm trying to take the ball from left to right as the ball is rising. The key here is to really get behind the bounce. Don't step back. As soon as you step back, you'll have to create time and move backwards. Now the reason this tactic is so effective is because as a server down there, they're hitting the serve, they probably haven't even landed yet, and you're already stepping in and taking that ball on the rise. So by taking the ball on the rise, you're taking time away for yourself, that's true, so you'll have to shorten your swing and really be alert when you are hitting that shot, but you're also taking time away from the opponent. So they haven't even finished their serve and the next ball's already coming into them. So you can really jam them up here, and you don't have to aim for the lines with this tactic. You can go right back into the server's feet, and this is a great way for you to exploit them being out of balance. They've hit the serve, they're off balance, and you're hitting the return into the feet. This is a tactic that Djokovic likes to do against big servers. He takes that ball on and he drills it right back at the server. This will catch them off guard and give you an easy ball to attack on the next shot, or at least neutralize play so that they can't attack you off that first strike. The next method is to run around that kick serve and hit your forehand, so an inside in or an inside out forehand. Now you'll need to be playing mainly on slower courts, so clay courts or slower hard courts. If you're playing on a grass court, doing this tactic is very high risk. You can pull it off, but you don't want to be doing it too often, because then the player down there, once they start reading that you're running around that serve, they'll start serving into the tee. So you want to use it at the right times, and you want to use it on the right courts. If you're playing on a clay court or a slow hard court, this is a great tactic to use to really attack that kick serve. Now the reason it's easier to hit a high forehand rather than a high backhand is because we're using our chest muscles here to really hit that shot. By hitting the forehand, we're using the major muscles at the front of the body, whereas with the backhand, if you're a one-hander especially, you're using the back muscles and the shoulder muscles to hit that shot. If you're a two-hander, you have the added benefit of the top hand, so it becomes like a left-handed forehand. But it's still much easier for the range of motion on the forehand side. With the two-handed backhand, even though I'm feeling like I'm hitting a left-handed forehand, I'm still restricted with the two hands. So the range of motion is less than on the forehand side. On the forehand side, I can extend out, I can hit the ball closer to me. The contact points can vary much greater on this forehand side. And it's also easy to manipulate the finish. So I can finish across the chest easier, I can go above my head if the ball's a little bit late. So there's many ways for me to finish that forehand if I do run around and hit that shot. Now, a few things you want to focus on. You're going to be moving around the ball, so you have to be quick in that first step. So your first step to the left has to be extremely quick. Most likely it's going to be a cross behind step with this right leg. This step. This creates a lot of space, but also gives me time to set up the swing. So as I'm doing this cross behind step with the right leg, I'm also turning my left shoulder at the same time. Now the swing will vary depending on the court surface and the speed of the serve. Sometimes you'll have to reduce the swing and take the ball on the rise, and sometimes you'll be able to move back further and hit a more aggressive shot with a full swing. But the steps and the footwork patterns will remain roughly the same. I want to be using that cross behind step, really getting behind the line of the ball and then attacking that shot. So from here, cross behind, creating space, and then hitting that shot. And the fourth method, and maybe the easiest to use on faster courts, is to simply slice that return. So the slice will allow you to hit from a high to low swing path, so when the ball bounces on the opponent's side, hopefully it stays low, which makes attacking the next shot extremely hard for the server. So this is a great tactic to use to neutralize play on surfaces like carpet or grass courts. Something that bounces fast and skids through, this tactic is perfect to neutralize that kick serve. Now the execution for this shot will change depending on if you're moving back or if you're stepping in. If I'm moving back, I can use similar footwork patterns to when I'm letting the ball drop. So I can split step backwards, take a step back, still load on this left leg and have my racket above the ball level so that I can cut downwards on the ball. If I'm stepping forward, however, I'll then have that weight shift forward during the split step. So I'm split stepping into a forward position and then I'm stepping out with this left leg and again preparing the racket head above the ball level, above the contact point, so that during the contact zone I can really cut downwards on that ball. Now this is also a great way for you to attack that second serve and come to the net, so chip and charge. So you're taking that ball on the rise, you're slicing the approach and you're coming into net. So you're forcing the player to pass you off that first strike. Now where will you aim this shot? Most likely if you're stepping back, you'll go back cross court or you'll go into the middle. Now if you're taking this ball on the rise and coming forward to the net, most likely you'll hit the approach shot down the line so that you're in position, you're covering your line, or you'll hit it into the middle, which will reduce the angles for the opponent to work with. So once again, we have method number one, stepping back, giving yourself time and hitting an aggressive topspin shot with a lot of net clearance back cross court into the player's backhand. Method number two, taking the ball on the rise, taking time away from the opponent and drilling it back into their feet. Method number three, running around that shot and hitting an inside out or inside in forehand. Method four, using the slice return to neutralize play or to slice and come to net. So there you have it guys, 4 ways that you can neutralize that kick serve or even attack it. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope you'll implement some of these different methods into your own game. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and make sure that you turn on that notification bell so YouTube will notify you every time we release a video. If you're simply a subscriber but don't have the bell turned on for our channel, YouTube won't send you a notification and you'll miss out on our latest videos. So make sure you go and subscribe to the channel and switch on the notification bell. Signing off, Simon from TTT, all the best and see you soon guys.